Hello and welcome to the IPO show, your one-stop destination on Indian television to know all about IPOs. Over the due course of the next half an hour, we're going to get you all the latest information, the news, the views and in-depth coverage about the IPO at hand. Our simple aim to try and figure out that one and sole question, whether or not you should be subscribing to the IPO or not. And of course, we're going to be speaking with managements. We'll get you the analyst views. We'll try and weigh in on the peer comparison. We'll get you a 360-degree coverage on all that you need to know about the IPO market. Without further ado, let me welcome on board CE Info Systems Limited, popularly known as MapMyIndia, which is a highly profitable technology company coming into the public markets for its IPO. So I'm sure with our next management interaction, our retail audience is going to learn a whole lot more. Let's welcome on board Rohan Verma. He's the CEO and whole-time director at MapMyIndia onto our show. Rohan, hi. Great to have you on the show. Excited, all charged up to hit the markets?
Yes, thanks a lot for having me on your show, Aisha.
Great. Ron, to begin with, you guys have pretty much pioneered digital mapping in India with the FNS report in the document that's already stated that you are India's leading provider of advanced digital maps, geospatial software and location-based IoT technologies. Given that you already have a 2.5 decade head start as opposed to any of your peers where pretty much you enjoy the market share domination, wanted to understand what really goes behind the various segments of your businesses. How does the business model really work?
Okay. See, the advanced digital maps that we are building are essentially a digital and geospatial replica of the real world. And using this digital map data, customers can get a myriad of benefits. We additionally also make a wide variety of software, products and platforms to provide even more value-added functionality to our customers. Now, as per Frost & Sullivan, this market for B2B and B2B2C digital maps and location intelligence technologies and services, where MapMyIndia is the market leader, is set to hit 47,000 crores, the total addressable market by 2025 in India, and about 13 lakh crores globally by 2025. And all of this is being driven basically by the more and more awareness and adoption of use cases for maps and location across sectors. So for example, in India, there are 20 million new vehicles sold every year, and many of them can benefit from MapMyIndia's advanced maps and navigation systems, our connected vehicles, services and telematics, our ADAS safety systems, our shared mobility and electric mobility platforms. Similarly, there are 280 million existing vehicles on the road, many of which are used in passenger and goods transportation. They can benefit from MapMyIndia's GPS-based digitization, which can help reduce logistics cost, create efficiency, improve safety, improve convenience. On the other hand, you are seeing the consumer wave rapidly growing in India. 37 billion app downloads will happen in FY22. We being a map and location API provider that goes embedded into these consumer apps, we can power or provide a lot of functionality to these consumer apps that will help them increase their value to their customers. And so we can ride this B2C wave in a B2B2C manner. And finally, enterprises are digitally transforming themselves in a rapid way now. And geospatial forms an integral part of that because it helps them in increasing revenues or identifying revenue opportunities, optimizing costs, increasing customer experience and delight. For example, enterprises will spend $52 billion on digital transformation, and a slice of that will accrue to MapMyIndia's maps and technologies. So all in all, this is how MapMyIndia will be able to grow the business and basically service the needs of the B2B and B2B2C customers very well. On the business model that you asked, it's actually quite simple. We get paid by our enterprise customers for the usage of our maps, our software, and our APIs. Basically, we get paid either per vehicle or per transaction of our APIs, or per use case per year.
Sure. Okay, got that. Seems pretty catchy, and it seems like it's a made in India product, but made for world mantra. Can I say that, Rohan, you're set to become the Google Earth, made in India, but for the world?
See, we started our company 26 years ago. It was started by my parents. Mr. Rakesh Verma, our CMD promoter and co-founder, is a BITS Pilani graduate. My mother, Mrs. Rashmi Verma, is an IIT Roorkee engineer. And they came back to India after living in the US for 12 years, working with companies like General Motors and IBM in 1990, with this desire to build something unique and powerful for India. Back then, Mr. Verma used to talk at conferences that someday 80% of all data would have a location component to it. Nobody really understood what that meant, but they had the conviction that by building this digital map data product for the entire country and harnessing location technologies, there could be infinite benefits for so many different people across walks of life. I myself got involved in 2004 when I was at Stanford University doing my electrical engineering, and we launched MapMyIndia.com, the first internet mapping technology platform for India. And so we've been at it for the last 26 years as a company. We are extremely passionate about making an Atmanirbhar Sarvottam Bharat. We've partnered with ISRO to provide end-to-end indigenous geospatial solutions to Indians, as well as we are proud to have supported CoWIN, the CoWIN platform of Government of India, to help crores of people find vaccine centers near them. So we really believe that a self-reliant India, a powerful India can leverage indigenous world-class solutions that can serve the needs for India, but also be exported and serve the needs for the world going forward. So definitely we are excited about what the future holds for us.
Great, you just gave me the next headline for your interview. So, okay, now I know that you're behind, the maps on my Apple iPhone, you're behind, when I search for on the retail apps for any of our shopping escapades. You're also behind the food delivery guy that, gets to my doorstep without any inconvenience. What I want to ask is that while you're covering about 6.29 million kilometers of roads already, which almost covers and maps 98.5% of India, how advanced are your products and technologies compared to, say, competition at a global level?
Sure, absolutely. See, leading automotive manufacturers or vehicle manufacturers like MG Motors and Hyundai embed us in their vehicles. Yes, leading consumer tech companies and apps like Flipkart or PhonePe integrate our APIs into their apps, as well as large enterprises like HDFC Bank, Airtel, or the Goods and Service Tax Network, or logistics companies like Safe Express, Avis, even new age mobility companies like Yulu are leveraging our solutions. So we're quite proud and happy about our marquee customer base, leading enterprises across industry verticals. And why do customers choose us comes down to three very simple facts. One is our maps are much more advanced, much more detailed, much more accurate, much more comprehensive, and much more feature rich. We can take you to an exact house address, not just a landmark nearby. We don't just tell you live traffic congestion, we also give you live road safety alerts on your route. Our maps are not just 2D, but 3-dimensional, even updating in near real time using AI, so 4-dimensional. And also not just a standard map, but a very high definition photorealistic map, so high HD maps, and also very information rich to provide hyperlocal intelligence and location-based data analytics. The second is that we provide a whole variety of full-featured software to meet the full needs of B2B and B2B2C customers. This is not just a basic app, this is a full-fledged B2B SaaS app or a B2B2C software suite that automotive manufacturers can embed in their vehicles, or enterprises can leverage for geospatial planning or workforce and fleet optimization. And also there are APIs that we provide so that anybody who is a technology developer in any organization can integrate this easily into their own apps, vehicles, or enterprise tech stacks. So we have that kind of advancement of platform capability as well. And finally, they choose us, or B2B customers and B2B2C customers choose us because since we control the end-to-end value chain, we are able to customize and be flexible and agile to meet their specific needs. And this is what B2B and B2B2C requires, that kind of mindset of being able to serve and wanting to serve the specific needs of these customers. I mean, since inception, we've served over 2,000 enterprise customers across so many use cases in so many industry verticals that whenever we talk to a customer, we can suggest 10 to 12 use cases where MapMyIndia can help them so that they can grow their organization, their business, achieve their goals. And that kind of helps us kind of grow with our customer, help them succeed, and in return, our business does well.
Brilliant. And that's exactly what I want to talk about next, Rohan, business. Because, our analysis shows, and, we've noticed in your, balance sheet as well, that your order book jumped up about 3.3 times. Your ROC has added, rather more than doubled at about almost 110% since FY19. Also on EBITDA and PAT margins, you've shown an increasing trend around 33.5%, or rather 35.5% and 30.9% respectively. You have about 300 crore rupees already, as cash on your books. I wanted to understand what then, after this phenomenal growth that you've already seen, is the trajectory going forward? How is it that you're going to go increasing your business and cash flows into the company?
Sure. Yeah, as you can tell, we're highly profitable with 82.5% contribution margin, 35% EBITDA margin, and 30.9% PAT margins. We are asset light. We are debt free. All of our kind of profits go down to cash. We have generated 82 crores of cash flow from operations in FY21, and so cash reserves are to the tune of 340 crores. And as you rightly said, our ROC ex cash is 110% in FY21. Order booking. This is basically showing the inflection point we have seen in our business, where it's grown 3.3 times in the last 3 years, from 141 crores in FY19 to 468 crores in FY21. And really that, combined with our high operating leverage that you see from our contribution margins. We're a digital products and platforms company. As revenues grow, margins and profitability will grow because it's an IP, intellectual property driven, product driven company. So we see a very large opportunity ahead of us. We are the market leader in this space. Now, with the opening up of this sector, with more and more people realizing the power of geospatial, we definitely think that there's a huge headroom to grow. And we do have our strategies in place, and hopefully, Indian investors, as well as our customers and users, see the power of MapMyIndia and can feel proud of a world-class digital technology product and platform company made in India, for India, but also for the world.
I wanted to understand what really is the contribution, if you can at all, when it comes to B2B versus B2C, and how exactly do you, count your revenues? Is it per vehicle? Is it, per subscription? Is it an annuity model? Is it royalty fee?
Yeah. Basically, if you want to segment our revenue, you should look at our automotive and mobility tech revenue versus our consumer tech and enterprise digital transformation revenue. So we, for example, go built into vehicles and we get paid per vehicle or per vehicle per year, whether it's new vehicles rolling off the factory floor or whether it's existing vehicles or fleets that are flying on the road, retrofitted with our maps and technologies. Similarly, on the consumer tech and enterprise digital transformation side, consumer apps integrate our APIs, and enterprises, as part of their digital transformation, use MapMyIndia for various use cases. So we get paid per API transaction, or we get paid per use case per year. And if in our order book, about 70% of our order booking is coming from automotive and mobility tech, or from the volume-based kind of order booking. And 30% is coming from this fixed price based booking. And our automotive and mobility tech revenue is about versus C&E, consumer tech and enterprise digital transformation revenue, is roughly half and half.
The two things that I want to focus on, Rohan, and one of them you alluded to earlier, ISRO. Wanted to understand what really is happening, what are the future plans there? And then B, how is it that you at MapMyIndia are going to participate in this big EV revolution which is knocking on our doors?
Sure. Yeah, with ISRO, basically, this is kind of coming together of the best-in-class public sector or research or scientific progress organization, which has satellites up in the air, which is ISRO, as well as the best-in-class private sector organization, which has pioneered digital mapping and has advanced map-related technologies, which is MapMyIndia. And together, basically, we are taking their satellite imagery, their Earth observation data. We are providing our maps, our mapping platforms, our software as a service, our APIs, etc., combining these so that customers can leverage the combined power of satellite imagery, Earth observation data, geospatial analytics, consumer location-based services. It can help in government's planning for infrastructure. It can help in businesses planning their expansion. It can help for agriculture. So there's a wide variety of use cases that will come out or are coming out through the collaboration of ISRO and MapMyIndia. Now, specifically on electric vehicles as well, MapMyIndia offers a whole variety of solutions for the mobility sector, all the way from helping the charge station manufacturers or the automotive OEMs or the energy infrastructure providers plan where to set up charge stations to meet the demand of residents or vehicle owners in those areas where they work or they stay, to telling consumers where the nearest charge stations are, to providing electric mobility range information in the vehicle, so that telling you in which direction, if you're going, how much distance you can reach, whether you'll reach your destination or not, so to solve for the range anxiety problem, as well as to give you a sense of the telematics or real-time information about the performance and remaining kind of condition or issues in your electric vehicle. So there's a whole suite of electric mobility solutions we are providing, all with the objective of helping accelerate the advent of energy efficiency, electric mobility, environmental kind of benefits through our maps and technologies.
Lastly, Rohan, when it comes to your IPO, I know a lot's going to depend on the valuation of the IPO, but given the interest in the primary market space and the tons of issuances which are lined up going forward, what's the message that you would like to leave for our audiences and people who are going to evaluate your IPO for subscription?
Yeah, I would say that we're a solid company with high profitability, cash generating. So I think that's a very, very big plus that investors should look at. So between the profitability, between the product and platform technology company, between the large addressable market and a strong track record of the management, we do hope that people see that this is a good company to associate with, and we let the investors evaluate our company on their own.
Indeed, quality paper coming your way. That's the message coming out from Rohan. Rohan, great to have you on the show today, and thanks for giving us all the insight on MapMyIndia. I'm sure our viewers of Know Your IPO are going to hugely benefit from this, and good luck with your IPO.
Thanks so much, Aisha. Really appreciate it.
With that, we've come to an end of this edition of the IPO show. I hope we were able to answer and give you an in-depth insight into the IPO. That's MapMyIndia. Catch us again at the same time next week to cover another IPO at hand.